what's the hurry? But if it's the difference between getting McDonald's breakfast and settling for a Big Mac, well, run like the wind. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It's like that.
Got him, it stays fair.
Everybody feel it, come around with the rhythm, it's a sound. Everybody get down when we bring it to you. It's like that.
You don't have to wear a uniform for service or sacrifice. Every day, ordinary Americans perform extraordinary acts of courage and selfless service. Please join us in recognizing citizen heroes who have made a difference in the lives of others through their acts of courage and selfless service in communities across America. Nominate a citizen hero today at themedalofhonor.com.
Welcome back to Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. Tony, what do you think?
Quincy, it's 2 a.m. You have school tomorrow. Get some rest.
See you tomorrow, Saquon.
You got it, Quessy.
His name is Quincy. The crowd goes wild.
Hey, Quincy!
Quincy! Your son's fantasies are going to destroy my house. Speed move! Quincy, take the snap! Hike! Here comes Fred Warner!
I'm open.
He's got Jefferson!
Hit the gritty?
Nah, hit the Quincy.
Where is that boy going?
Nobody was little number.
Oh no!
Bring it, little man.
Cam Jordan!
I'll see you tomorrow, Quasi.
Quincy's in trouble!
I got you!
He pitches it to Saquon! No! My ball!
That's on you, bro. Besides, I'm not even real.
Is this your ball? What's your name?
Quissy.
Quincy. I'm OC. I know that look. I know that dream. I had the same one. See, Quincy, doesn't have to be a dream anymore. Doesn't matter where you're born, as long as you're born to play.
Just making sure you were real.
The Southeast Sports Network, your free ticket to front row sports action. From heart-pounding football showdowns to thrilling basketball games, experience every moment live, all from the comfort of your home. Your favorite athletes, broadcast in real time and on demand. It's not just streaming, it's your front row ticket to the best of Southeastern sports. And the best part? It's absolutely free. Don't miss a moment of your favorite teams. Join us now at the Southeast Sports Network. The Southeast Sports Network, your front row ticket to live sports.
Mental health plays a massive role in professional soccer and in sports in general. We're all here to support each other. We're all here to help each other, and you never know what somebody is going through, whether it's on the field or off the field. For me, mental health plays a huge role when it comes to goalkeeping, because a lot of times the game is not near me and not near the goalkeeper, and it's important that I stay calm and stay ready and stay connected to the team even when the play is not by me.
Your favorite teams, your favorite live streams, your favorite highlights. Be sure to engage with us. Find us now on YouTube at NSBN Sports or visit us at nsbnsports.com.
Walk-off home run.
From the Meadowview Marriott Conference Resort and Convention Center in Kingsport, Tennessee, it's college basketball on the Southeast Sports Network. I'm Gabriel Schride, joined by Lorenzo Robinson and Frank Osborne with College Hoops. And today, these two hoping to punch their ticket on to the next round of the tournament. And the victor of the AAC Conference Tournament going on to the National Tournament for the League of Nations. This is the Reinhardt University Eagles and Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs, who are fighting to keep their season alive in play-in day Wednesday as we're about to get started. Thank you for being with us. Very excited for this one. Promises to be a barn burner.
It should be a barn burner indeed, and this is two squads, two games that were decided by a mere 7 points. First game 79-77, the second one 88-83. So if that holds serve, we should have yet another classic on our hands here at Kingsport, Tennessee.
And from what we've just seen in the last game, the previous games in the season don't really mean too much. Bryan lost twice to Truett McConnell, but they turned up when it mattered at tournament, and now they're through to the next round.
Not super surprised to see that as we're ready to go, and got to redo that. Didn't like that.
Let's play basketball.
Set and off. Down to the attacking end of the floor. Quickly through and pitched behind the Eagles. Tennessee Wesleyan all the way outside.
A right foul, number 3, Williams is first, team first.
So Williams picks up the foul first. Tennessee Wesleyan puts it back onto the floor. That's off the mark.
I think one of the things to look out for in today's game is Armando Cuadrado for Tennessee Wesleyan. One of the tallest people I've ever seen in real life. And it tends to be with Wesleyan that when he's on form, Wesleyan are on form.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see those Reinhardt bigs really battle down there with Armando Cuadrado.
This bangs home for Rashawn Hampton, who responds immediately, and the lead to the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs, 3-2.
And that's pretty typical of what we've seen from Hampton over the course of this year. He was a first-team all-conference selection this season, coming off of an all-freshman campaign a year ago.
On the way, this rattles off. Reinhardt couldn't knock it down. T. Williams trying to get the rebound down inside. We've got a lot to talk about with some of the selections to the all-conference team in this game, and two 2 long seasons for these two as we're just 90 seconds into it and get the whistle. Reinhardt opened on a rough stretch. They played a really tough out-of-conference schedule, too. They had a little invitational on the campus in Molesca, Georgia, lost to Campbellsville, Lindsey Wilson. They played Ave Maria, who has been in the top 10 all year long. Dalton State. They played Indiana East. Then they had to play Tennessee Wesleyan to open their conference schedule, and obviously got some important wins through the meat of the schedule and down the back stretch, but a really, really tough test to start the year, and able to make it all the way to Kingsport and looking to make some noise, but Tennessee Wesleyan wants to end their dream ride right here.
Yeah, sort of falling back into Kingsport. They did knock off Milligan during that last week to earn the tiebreaker, but Reinhardt losing their last game, their last conference game against Bluefield in rather heartbreaking fashion, losing on a last-second shot against, oddly enough, Coach Richard Morgan's old team.
Tennessee Wesleyan back to the attacking end of the floor. Their schedule, a very different story than the Reinhardt Eagles. They always play some really fun out-of-conference games as this goes, and they now lead by 5 early, 7-2. They beat Covenant 127-105 after a couple of games against Roane State and Cleveland State, then lost to Rio Grande and Tennessee Southern before going on a great run, took down 5 teams in a row. They played UT Chattanooga, they played Tennessee State, they played Carson Newman, so they've had some really tough tests throughout their schedule, and they're ready to face anything.
Yeah, but not really playing their best basketball at this point of the year. They've lost 4 of their last 6 games, so they're really trying to spin the narrative on their season that's sort of gone off the rails, and they're hoping that they can begin with a big-time win here against Reinhardt.
Ball rattles off the inside of the iron for Shaw. There's some really, really impressive players on these two rosters. Rashawn Hampton averaging 16 points per game, 15 points per game for Charles Neverton, 11 for Cordado. Obviously, T. Williams, one of the best basketball players in the country. Down low, Williams on cue almost jams that as he's rejected at the backboard.
Yeah, not many players really having the gall to meet T. Williams at the summit. So you got to give J.J. Ruckert a lot of credit for being able to take on that challenge.
To be fair, Williams, not many people in the country could stop him anyway. He's one of the top scorers in NAIA, second in points per game in the conference.
Seitz can't get that to go. Blake Seitz, a really nicely developed piece. He's come a long way over his time playing college ball.
Absolutely has. He's a very versatile player, sort of that hybrid 3-4 forward that can guard up and down positions and then give you some offensive game too in a pinch.
Pitched forward, fighting his way through traffic. Wants to pull the trigger and it rims out of the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. Neverton, the senior, just can't knock it down. Seitz slow to rise after the foul.
Charles Neverton is someone I thought has gone really under the radar for Tennessee Wesleyan. Of course, Hampton gets a lot of plaudits and you can't blame them, but Neverton's had a really good season. 309 points this year prior to today.
On the way, Neverton just rattled off the iron. The Eagles, T. Williams will keep us moving. Tennessee Wesleyan leading 7-3. Just a bit off the mark. Reinhardt tries that. Now taken down. Good rebound inside by the Bulldogs, man, Runyon. You want to talk about a special piece of a basketball team? Ty Runyon has been so good for so long.
Yeah, and he's such an effective piece because of his ability to do so many different things. He can come in, he can give you some offensive game as a scorer. He can create for himself and others. Also a good rebounder for his position. He competes defensively. We call those type of guys connective pieces. Someone who really just brings the whole thing together for your group.
Not to get too hokey early in the game, but I can't tell you how sad it is for me to look down at my notes and see that he's an upperclassman, a senior. I don't want to watch Ty Runyon leave. I want to keep watching him play. He's been a blast to watch his entire career at TWU.
And there's something quite nice about someone who's born near the school, representing the school that they've grown up around. Of course, you see lots of people traveling in for college basketball these days. It's quite nice to see a hometown hero.
Entry feed rattles off the side of the iron, disrupted, pinballing outside, running it down at the center of the floor. Somehow it goes to the Eagles. Williams to the back door, and Shaw disrupted, won't get it to go. T. Williams fighting amongst the branches, can't get it over that tree down inside.
And that's going to be a big deal in this game. How will Reinhardt be able to challenge Mount Cordado?
Like that, Mount Cordado creates the turnover, and the junior J.J. Ruckert getting airborne but can't jam it as we come to our first timeout in a one-possession game in Kingsport, Tennessee.
Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Buffalo's Cafe for the football season.
We didn't come to fix Marco's brakes because it was convenient or fast. We did it because Marco has bigger fish to fry and a lot of hungry people to feed. Krause Family Ford. Passion drives purpose.
Back in Kingsport, Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson, Frank Osborne in a two-point game, one possession early. The Bulldogs of Tennessee Wesleyan leading the Reinhardt Eagles, and this promises to be one of the more fun battles you'll see this week between these two programs. In fact, this is probably my favorite day of the tournament because you've got all these closely seeded teams, and they're just fighting to extend careers.
Yeah, there's something really nice about that. Just you have to put it out all out on the court, otherwise your college career is done. Like you have to turn up when it matters.
Dished across. Good entry feed, T. Williams. This goes with a little kiss off the glass to deadlock us for the first time at 7.
And I love the play right there made by Jackson Souza, being able to find T. Williams on the cut, the body control on the finish. But really for Reinhardt, they want to be able to give T. Williams some makeable shots that he doesn't really have to work as hard for to create. You put a lot of pressure on him when he has to create all of his own shots.
This one goes for Charles Neverton, who is cooking with gas early. There's a reason he averages 14 per game, and it's plays like that.
Plays like that, and again, very consistent with what we've seen from Neverton this year. 4th in the conference in three-pointers made.
Well, that shows the strength of the Tennessee Wesleyan offense, because if you focus on Hampton, who might be the star standout, you've got Quadrado, you've got Neverton, you've got Rucker, that are all very talented attacking players.
Knifing his way through this rims out. Putback goes. A little bit of butter for that roll. 12-7. Tennessee Wesleyan out in front. The Athens team besting Waleska so far. They're two of the closer teams geographically in the conference. Reinhardt off the glass goes. Good play down inside by Nakai Fisher. Nakai Fisher, another guy that, kind of the same sentiment as Ty Runyon. Really sad to see him go when the time comes. He's been fun to watch play basketball at Reinhardt University. Down inside, this goes 14-9, a 5-point game.
It's been quite a fun start to the game.
Trying to get set. This rattles and won't drop.
Yeah, T. Williams was kind of stuck down there underneath the goal in danger of getting that 3-second call. Really just had to try to throw something up.
Knife through, almost hung on to it as it pops out of the hands of Corey Marshall, the junior.
T. Williams seems to be a bit shaken up. He was holding on to his hand. He's going to take a seat, and likely the training staff will take a closer look and will update his condition. That would just be a massive loss for this Reinhardt ball club.
Yeah, that's not what you want going into your biggest game of the year.
Floater is somehow cashed in.
Yeah, the Eagles sort of settle into that 2-3 zone look there. Tremendous job of the Bulldogs, still finding a way to get right to the rim.
Tries this from range, pinballed off for Fisher and hauled in by Ty Runyon on the rebound.
Yeah, Reinhardt really not known for their long-range prowess. One of the worst teams in the conference when it comes to three-point percentage. They don't take a ton of them as well. Right now, all the momentum in the hands of the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. The Eagles in danger of falling behind big early.
Need a break? A break from the grind? The stress? We have just the place. A place where you can let your inner thrill-dilly out. Bristol Motor Speedway, April 10th through the 12th for the NASCAR Food City 500 Triple Header Weekend. 3 days, 3 races, 2 night races, 1 epic weekend. Don't just take a break, race to it. Get your tickets, upgrades, and more now at bristolmotorspeedway.com. It's not just a race.
It's Bristol, baby! Sights. Swatted. Draws the whistle. 18-9. Tennessee Wesleyan doubling up the Reinhardt Eagles early.
Yeah, the danger for Reinhardt if they get down big early on. Again, not really a team that's well known for their long-range prowess, and they really sort of play more of a slow-down, knockout, drag-them-out style of ball. 11th in the conference in points per game. But they do want to try to force the issue and get to the rim. 3rd in free throw attempts. So they want to try to make this as ugly as possible. But if Tennessee Wesleyan continues to extend their advantage, the Eagles will have to play a much faster pace than they would otherwise want to.
This goes automatic at the line for Sights. Brings it back down to a respectable 3 possessions, a little more manageable for Reinhardt in the early stages. Flipped way back outside. Control on the straightaway.
Yeah, the Eagles in a 1-2-2 zone look here, trying to throw a different look out there for Tennessee Wesleyan and really make them struggle on this end.
This rattles off. Reinhardt Eagles able to hold on to it.
Yeah, Reinhardt, they have a ton of lengthy, switchable defenders, so being able to go to that 1-2-2, not really a bad matchup out there on the perimeter. Then they just have to gang rebound out of it.
This is game 2 of 4 today. At the bottom of your screen, a look at what we'll see. The women's bracket opens up next as our coverage is wall to wall. We will not take a break. It'll be a 2-minute turnaround as we'll be right back with you. Wherever you're tuned in now, you can watch games for free, live, all day long.
That's where Reinhardt needs to make it count. Getting into really good positions, but if you're not going to be ruthless in conference tournament, and what's the point?
On the way, this goes wide on him. Reinhardt takes it down. Again, just a 3-possession game. Eagles fights his way through and gets it to go. Ariel Jones, quite the play.
I think they're going to call him with the offensive foul. They're going to say that he lowered that shoulder. You know that Coach Morgan doesn't agree with that call.
Timeout on the floor, so we will keep it here. We're going to take a look at our first game of the day and talk about the schedule on this first day. Guys, take it away. Tell me about game one and what to expect.
Well, that first game, we saw the Bryan College Lions do something that they had not done up to this point this year, and that is being able to take down the Truett McConnell Bears, using a great game, a great defensive game to be able to play at their pace and get our first upset of the tournament.
Yeah, and Ty Gibbs, the freshman, showed that age does not matter. He turned up when it mattered. I think he got 15 points. And that's exactly what you need from your freshman. Who cares about experience if you're going to turn up and do it when you need to?
A lot of fun to watch them pull that win together. I'm sure we're going to see more incredible performances like that all tournament long, but quickly a red-hot start between those two, and we'll have more basketball today. I mentioned it a moment ago. Women's games coming up next on the Southeast Sports Network. If you're tuned in from somewhere interesting we want to hear with you, you can tag us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at SESN Sports. You can tag me as well at SchryGuy, SCHRAYGUY. We had viewers from all over the place during our last game, the Lions and Truett McConnell Bears. Birmingham, Alabama is kind of interesting. It was the voice of the Stallions on their public address and the G League team there. Free ball, just a bit strong. Pinball through traffic. Reinhardt scoops it on the way, and the foul down on the baseline. We heard from McCrary in Iceland.
That's pretty unique.
That might be the best one.
Yeah, that definitely
Iceland
takes the
action.
cake at the moment.
Iceland moment. Can you beat Iceland, I guess, is kind of the wager now. Like, is anybody watching from somewhere?
I'm not sure there's many places that would beat Iceland.
I heard from the owner of another broadcasting company, Nathan Patterson, in Georgia, and he's watching from a, quote, cement cinder block office. So that's pretty good. Appreciate everybody being with us for today's coverage. It's been quite the start. Red hot would be putting it lightly as this one goes as well at the line.
Yeah, and it's good to see T. Williams make his way back onto the court. He went to the bench kind of grimacing in pain a few moments ago, so you know that these games are so important to him because this can be the end of his collegiate career. I'd expect him to get some professional opportunities down the line, but these could be the last moments he has in the Reinhardt uniform.
Down low, it rattles and won't drop. Taken in by the Eagles. They're going to move quickly. To the other end, set up, fired off the window. Good, put off the glass.
And that's what's always really impressed me about Nakai Fisher's game. He's a good spot-up shooter. He can fill in gaps, but also when you need him to, he can put the ball on the floor and create his own.
Three ball from the edge of the floor. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and you got to give the three-point shooter space to land. Nakai Fisher, sort of a rookie mistake there, fouling a jump shooter, and Charles Neverton seems to be picking up steam from beyond the arc.
Charles Neverton now 9 points. We're barely halfway through our first half. I mean, that's as good as you're going to see. Cordato checking back into the game for Corey Marshall. Neverton gets all 4. You know, we talked about how guys have special games in this tournament. Down low, Jones in trouble, stolen. And that's a great example. 10 points early. He's averaging 14 a game this season. Tipped back home, down low by the big guy, Cordato.
Yeah, and the Reinhardt faithful there, the Reinhardt bench, they wanted the goaltending call, the offensive basket interference on Cordato.
In some trouble. Floated long, sights to the corner. Good passing, contested, took it anyhow and can't knock it down.
Yeah, but look at the attention that T. Williams draws. He was in the post. There was 1 man on him and 2 in the gap with the help.
3 ball short.
Wesleyan doing really well at creating some shooting opportunities. Almost every time they get the ball, it feels like they get a shot away. Might not convert the shot, but they're getting the option.
T. Williams harassed down inside and goes to the floor hard as he'll travel to the line.
And Frank, to that point, you're correct. Not only creating shots for themselves, but creating good looks in rhythm. The guys that you want to take those shots as well. Rashawn Hampton able to get a few good looks. Charles Neverton already being able to knock down a few long-range bombs. Conversely, on the other end, Reinhardt having to work so hard to try to get good looks for their best players. T. Williams fighting through multiple defenders, go through multiple bodies to get shots on the board. So tough right now for the Eagles offensively.
Derek Brown back into the game in place of Seitz for the Reinhardt Eagles. He was all conference for his defensive efforts.
Yeah, Derek Brown, a much-deserved second-team all-conference selection. I think a bit of a snub on the all-defensive team, but nonetheless, I digress. I'm sure I'll have a chance to talk to some of the AAC officials about it.
24-15, 9-point game.
I think it would be impossible for the awards to come out without someone being unhappy about it.
100%.
You know, I was told by someone a long time ago, if you make everybody happy, then you're not a real person. So someone has to be unhappy when you make a decision. That's why you get paid to make those decisions.
Driving, firing, this goes! Beautiful delivery by Jackson Souza.
And I love that little mid-range pull-up game that Jackson Souza has added to his bag over the course of this season. He's becoming more and more confident taking those shots in rhythm.
3-ball, clatters off the iron and can't be gathered. Diving for it. Williams fighting for the ball as they scramble down the side of the floor. Hampton's got 3 points. Neverton's got 7. 4 for Quardado. 4 for Souza, 4 for Fisher, and 2 for T. Williams.
Sort of waiting for T. Williams to get into his rhythm, get grooving. Almost feels like Reinhardt are waiting for that as well.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen T. Williams be cold, quiet, and then explode in the final 5 to 10 minutes of a game.
Yeah, to his credit, he's usually somebody that doesn't really go out of his way to force the issue. He's not somebody that's just going to take a bunch of tough shots just for the sake of taking them. Now, there will be a point of the game where he gets in that mode, but he does a good job of allowing the game to slowly come to him in the first half. So we're seeing some of that in the early going.
I like that you guys pointed out, like, no one's ever going to be happy with, you know, an all-conference team. We're so critical of it. Lorenzo and I were talking about, like, maybe they should have less people on the you know, we're just picking everything about it apart this morning.
I wasn't going to bring that one up just because I know that they put a lot of effort into it, and a lot of guys definitely are happy with being able to see their names on there.
3-ball goes for the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. It's Neverton who knocks it down.
Yeah, Charles Neverton, again, the high-volume three-point shooter, making do yet again. 3 already in the game.
Could you imagine how many unhappy people we would have had if we had less people in the Team of the Year awards?
Yes. This goes on the other end for the Reinhardt Eagles.
I know the analytics guys are going to be really just scratching their heads with that one. They're going to be shaking their heads because Jackson Souza, man, just take one step behind the line.
On the way it goes in response against Souza.
Yeah, and right on cue. He would have had back-to-back threes, but Reinhardt, they'll take that 5-point swing from their guard, number 23.
Souza's 200th point of his career at Reinhardt.
Seitz waiting to check in for the Eagles. Over the top and taken away by Reinhardt. Somehow filtered forward to Williams. Shoveled across, he's gonna take another one. Oh my goodness, it's raining in Kingsport, Tennessee for the Reinhardt University Eagles, who have brought it back to a one-possession game.
Yeah, and we call that a heat check. You gotta put it up and see if you can put it down. Jackson Souza right now absolutely rolling.
Heat check is right. It's been a wild finish to the year, down to the stretch for these teams. Let's take a look at the top teams in the AAC in men's basketball to close the year. who made the tournament, what kinds of standings we were looking at. Pikeville, Johnson, Columbia, just so good all year long.
Yeah, and Reinhardt again being able to back into that last spot. As you can see with those league standings, it was a little bit uncertain of where certain teams would be positioned. Things became clear after those final few games, and the Eagles somehow, some way getting into that top 10.
And a look at the entire nation. The only team from the AAC you'll see here is Pikeville. Now, this poll will be updated throughout the course of this week as we enter conference tournaments around the country, but Pikeville, number 10 in America. Freed Hardeman, the number 1 team in America. They were here as part of the show, and you should go watch the highlights on SESN. It's on our website, it's on our YouTube channel. I think they had 35 steals against CIU in the first half. It was the most wild performance by a basketball team I've ever seen at any level.
And it's hard to argue with Pikeville being in the top 10. They've been so consistent all year. Only interestingly, the fact it was Milligan that were the team able to beat them in conference, stop them going unbeaten. Pretty much all thanks to Redwood from Milligan. Got like 42 points in that game.
Yeah, it says something when your only conference loss is to a team that didn't make the conference tournament. So no one present here at Kingsport, Tennessee has experienced beating this version of the U-Pike Bears. Just something else to watch for as we see everyone really shooting at number 1.
3 ball rattles off the side, hauled in by Seitz and the Eagles of Reinhardt. Reinhardt back to Seitz, knifed his way through way outside on the front court. 1 possession game.
You feel like you just need to try to find a way to get the ball in the hands of 23 with a chance to score.
Jones, Brown inside. Rail Jones. 4.5 still to play in the first half in what's become a close one. Jones to tie the game at 27. He knocks it down from the front porch of Eastman, and Randy just can't believe it.
Yeah, and that was a Rail Jones saying, "May I have this dance," with Quardado being able to take advantage of the switch and getting the bucket on the big.
Well, Reinhardt did really well there, I thought. They had a couple of attempts into getting closer shooting positions. It didn't work. They just recycled it, took their time, and paid off.
Both coaches are angry right now.
Yeah,
that's how you know you're making the right calls, and you've got both coaches upset.
Yeah, and I love that. If you can't have everybody happy, so it's better if no one is happy. But how about Reinhardt being able to make a run without their best player, T. Williams, on the floor?
Quite the hot run. Seitz is sent to the hardwood. A jump ball as Ty Runyon gets a hold of it.
So I've said it before on the broadcast, but it's so vital for teams to be able to win these minutes. There's a saying when LeBron James used to be in Cleveland and his teams would have to play without him on the floor. You have to be able to win the quote-unquote non-LeBron minutes. That gives you a chance to be able to be successful when your best player re-enters. T. Williams is going to come into a situation where his team is rolling, and he just needs to help them keep the momentum.
Floater. Enters into the post, and the violation.
Yeah, but how about Blake Seitz being very aggressive on the offensive end? We're really not used to seeing that from him over the course of his career. He already has 7 points so far with a chance for more at the charity stripe.
Yeah, Seitz has been a really nice piece early in this game. I mentioned early on his development has been unreal. I mean, he's gone from, JV to varsity to college, and it feels like he's really taking that final step. And I mean that as, a turn of phrase, not literally. I mean, he has obviously gone from JV, high school, college, but in his 3 last years at Reinhardt, it feels like he's gone through his own little graduation and process of development.
Yeah, and those are the stories that really resonate with fans, of seeing a player really grow from the ground up and turn himself into a college basketball athlete. That's what Blake Seitz has done here in his time at Reinhardt.
Over the top. Bulldogs, this one is banged inside of the iron. They're back out ahead by 2.
You saw the shooter in the corner jumping up and down saying, "Hey, see me, give me a chance."
This goes in response on the other end. We're deadlocked, 30 apiece between the Eagles and Bulldogs.
And there's probably not a hotter hand playing the sport right now anywhere in the country than Jackson Souza. And what he's been able to do has lifted this Reinhardt offense.
Neverton goes inside to the big man, and Quardado hits it.
Yeah, and the pace really picking up now on both sides. Both teams really seem to be settled in.
We get the foul.
Tennessee Wesleyan foul. Referee motion on Hampton, his second. Team's 8. Correction on Tennessee Wesleyan's number 5.
You can hear the calls on Ty Runyon. Randy Casey's having a conversation. The official.
We've spoke about just recently how good the offenses have been for both teams. Are the coaches going to be happy with that, do you think, or do you think they'll be questioning their defense as well?
I can tell you that a coach in Richard Morgan for the Reinhardt Eagles that has seen his team struggle at times with offensive droughts, he will absolutely take seeing them be able to build some momentum on that end of the floor.
This rattles off. Yeah, I can't imagine Coach Casey's going to be too thrilled, but I think any momentum is good, and so both coaches are going to feel good about what we've seen in this first half, and we might see these two teams really get on the gas in half number 2. Neverton, this rattles off.
Now, the biggest change that I've seen from Tennessee Wesleyan as this half has continued, their offensive process really hasn't been as crisp. We saw at times in the beginning stages of the first half, they were getting right into the middle of that defense of the Reinhardt Eagles and finding open looks. Those open looks have been fewer and further between as this half has continued. Reinhardt really tightening the screws in Tennessee Wesleyan, now needing to find a way to adjust.
Separated by just a point.
4 games we have today, 8 versus 9, 7 versus 10. Teams separated by maybe a game or 2 in the standings. Games in the regular season that was so close between all these squads as well. So not a surprise to see our first 2 really live up to the billing.
Jones got us started. Brown gives it back to him. From the front court. Dish to Jones, spins down the baseline and can't get it to go. Down deep in the paint. Runyon will be patient. And the patience doesn't pay off as Reinhardt takes this down. Defensive rebound given off, and Shaw goes coast to coast to deadlock us again, this time at 34.
Yeah, A.J. Shaw is at his best when he's utilizing his size and athleticism, getting downhill and making plays right at the rim.
This is Ty Runyon. Hampton drives, knifes his way through a pair and fouled as he tries to drive the lane.
And you would love to see, if you're Tennessee Wesleyan, if you're Coach Casey, you would love to see your squad really take advantage of having a big man like Armando Guardado at your disposal. Reinhardt, they usually run without a typical 5-man. T. Williams, Blake Seitz, Derek Brown masquerade at that position, but you really want to see your team really go to your big guy down low and give him a chance to really put his stamp on this ball game.
Yeah, Guardado has been so important for Tennessee Wesleyan this season. Almost winning games on his own when he does get going. They just need to start, feed the big man and let him score.
Also easier said than done. The Reinhardt front line doing a nice job of making him work for everything down there. We see Tennessee Wesleyan now going to that 2-3 zone, trying to keep Reinhardt out the paint and force them to do something that they haven't done a ton of this year, and that's let it rain from beyond the arc.
Tipped into the air, kept alive. TWU gets it to Guardado. This is Ty Runyon running the floor in our final minute of this first half. Automatic off the glass. They lead by 4.
Turning point moment here, last 2 minutes of the first half. This can really do damage on both sides.
Eagles, Brown across. He's got space and pulls the trigger for 3. We're within 1.
Yeah, and I love the no hesitation there from Amir Green-Jones. He hasn't hit a ton of long-range shots, but a very confident pull from beyond the arc there.
Ty Runyon
1 second separating the shot and game clock. You would expect Tennessee Wesleyan to try to hold for the last one.
All the way to the corner in Hampton. They'll say he's out.
Reinhardt coming into this game with 12 conference losses, backing into the playoffs. At this point, there has to be a lot of confidence that they can make something happen and win.
Put on. Seconds to go. One. Fires it in time, but can't knock it down. As that ends our first half in Kingsport between the Eagles of Reinhardt and the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. Frank, Lorenzo, quick thoughts on this first half.
The Reinhardt Eagles doing it without a ton of production from their dynamic duo of Williams and Brown. Only 2 points between them. It's been the Sousa and Sight show for Reinhardt, keeping them in the ball game after one.
Yeah, I was going to say similar. Reinhardt will be really happy at times that they were dropping off and the gaps looked big, but without their best players, they've managed to keep it tight, keep it. It's a 1 point game. Anything can happen in that second half.
One half of action in the books and a close one. 38-37, the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs leading on the Southeast Sports Network.
It's time.
Oh, terrific.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
I'm Bijan Robinson, running back for the Atlanta Falcons. Mental health makes me a better person and athlete just because whenever my mind is clear, I perform so much better. So mental health for me is the priority because it controls everything in your body and it gives you the chance to be the best physically you can be.
My dad was a farmer, and when I saw him on a horse, the guy was bigger than life. One of the things that he had a hard time doing was showing the emotion. Maybe it was because the way he was raised or believing that men provide and they don't struggle, but we all struggle. I want to show emotion to my kids. I want them to know when I'm happy, I want them to know when I'm sad, and I want them to see me working through things. The biggest reward I get from being a dad is watching my kids accomplish a goal, watching them light up. Nothing brings a bigger smile to my face. So I make my kids a priority. Whether it's hitting a baseball, a dance rehearsal, you name it, I'm there. They're gonna remember that they grew up loved. Be brave. Be there every day. And allow your kids to know that it's okay to struggle. That even dad doesn't know the answer sometimes, but we're gonna figure it out together.
Okay, so before we come over, can I ask a few questions?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have any pets?
Yes, we have a dog, but she's little.
Do you have any unlocked guns around the house?
We do have a gun, but it's stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access. I appreciate you asking.
Yeah, of course. So does Friday work?
Sounds good to me.
All right, we'll bring pizza.
Our Orlando story is packed with outdoor activities and our love for nature. We knew Orlando was a great city, but couldn't imagine it had so much nature around it. Coming here makes you aware of your surroundings. All you need is a bike, so you can enjoy every part of this beautiful city while being outdoors. This is our Orlando story. What's yours?
Americans, we can do anything we want. Except one thing. We just can't stop being American. Because since that revolution they said we'd lose, we just couldn't choose to stop being American. We put Hemi V8s back on the strip and packed 8 layers in a 7-layer dip. We're body slams and blue suede shoes, rock and roll, jazz and blues. Rockin' mullets and Rat Pack suits, even our grandmas have tattoos. We're NASCAR, rock stars, rodeo, monster trucks and power boats. Welcome to our epic show. Keep winning on Sunday, move horsepower Monday, shake the earth and carve terrain, rock the anthem like Kenny Wayne. So get out there, take your swing, burn rubber after the American dream. Rev your engines and let freedom ring. And never, ever, ever stop being American. Nothing stops America, and nothing stops Ram.
Vamos, dale pues, mamá ya, muévete más loco como solo tú lo sabes. Así es, pon la mano en la cabeza y sacúdete, 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 mira, sacúdete.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire Tablet with just a few clicks.
All right, boys, remember who we are and who we represent. It's not about a place, it's about a people. Yeah! And we hit the field like woo, woo, woo.
All day like woo,
all night like woo,
woo.
New job like
damn.
We the boys like woo, our time like woo,
all fast like woo. We favorite.
Okay, Mom.
You all right, baby?
Honolulu like woo,
Chattanooga like woo,
Japan like woo,
West Side like woo,
Japan like woo, Brazil like woo, all day like, all night like, all day like, all night like, all day, all night, all day, all night, all day, all night, all day, all night, all day.
Welcome back to Kingsport, Tennessee, where it is the AAC Conference Tournament for the basketball. Today is our second game of the day. We're halfway through it. Reinhardt trailing Tennessee Wesleyan 37-38, but it could have been worse. Tennessee Wesleyan led by 10, 6 minutes in. Reinhardt done well to pull it back, and they pulled it back largely without their main boy, T. Williams. T. Williams looked like he had a bit of an injury early on, but he seems to have shaped that off. But luckily, Jackson Souza stepped up. He's pulled 13 points. Blake Seitz on 8. They've single-handedly kept Reinhardt in it for Tennessee Wesleyan. Charles Neverton sits on 12. He's been the main man for the Bulldogs. It's been an excellent game. Back and forth. Lots of scoring. Lots of good opportunities for either side. Of course, we have got 2 more games today after this one. The women's basketball, so stay tuned.
Yeah, and the biggest point for me for Reinhardt at this point in the game is T. Williams and Derek Brown, the 2 all-conference selections, the leaders all season for Reinhardt offensively. Only 2 points between them, 1 of 8 from the field at this point. I'm sure if you ask the Reinhardt fans, you're going to be in a situation where your 2 best players are playing some of their worst basketball offensively. How much do you feel like you're in that ball game? I'm sure a lot of them would say no.
Yeah, I'm sure Reinhardt will take it though. If considering how their two main stars haven't really got going, the rest of the team doing so well that when they do eventually get going, it's got to happen at some point. They're too good for it not to happen. That then Reinhardt will start to fly. The Eagles will be soaring.
And it's been some great work from the others, namely Jackson Souza and Blake Seitz. Souza got hot from the perimeter, hit a few mid-range shots before that corner three-pointer, 13 points. Blake Seitz, very aggressive in the early stages. He had 7 quick points. He was able to hit a free throw later on in the half, so he has 8. Being able to get contributions from those players really can help take this Reinhardt offense to another level once T. Williams and Derek Brown inevitably start to find their footing. And meanwhile, Rashawn Hampton 1 for 6. He's been so aggressive throughout this year. He's been pretty effective, but a volume shooter indeed, 41% from the field, someone who takes a lot of shots, and rightfully so because of his talent. You have to figure that the pendulum will start to swing his way when we get into the second half.
Absolutely, he's too good for it not to.
Welcoming you back inside of the Marriott Meadowview Conference Resort and Convention Center. Glad you're along for what promises to be a crazy second half of action between these two teams. Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson, Frank Osborne here alongside me as we begin half number 2 between these two programs. It's the Reinhardt University Eagles and the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs, and the season on the line. The winner of today's game advances to tomorrow. This is the AAC basketball tournament, and a quick opening bucket to extend the lead to 3 points, 40-37 for TWU.
Yeah, not a great omen for Reinhardt, allowing the guard to get right to the front of the rim and being able to finish down low.
That just sums the game up there, doesn't it? Quick points, nice direct, starting strong.
Poked away, and this rolls off down over the baseline.
But you see immediately Ty Runyon being able to get the ball to the wing, and he was looking for Guardado. I'm sure that that's going to be a point of emphasis for Tennessee Wesleyan to try to get him going here in the second half.
On the way, this rolls over the front of the iron, and it's a 2-possession advantage for Tennessee Wesleyan.
Yeah, that was a real nifty move. A lot of decision-making in the air by Rashawn Hampton. That's not an easy play, sort of faking the handoff and deciding to lay it up himself.
Well, the best players play off instinct, don't they? They don't really have to think about it, and that's exactly what he's just done there.
T. Williams going to work. Wants to run that spin move and blocked down inside as this is pushed off, and we'll go with TWU's Bulldogs. I've been doing a lot of games with Nia Leveretter recently. We've become good friends. Nia played 4 years at Kentucky, a year at Georgia. And Nia always stresses, you know, when you come out of the break, in women's basketball, it's the third quarter. In men's, it's going to be this first 5-7 minutes coming out of the half. You have to win that. I mean, so often a game ends and you can look back and say, it really feels like that run they put together in that third period or that first portion of the second half was everything. That's what I'm watching for here. Can TWU stay hot?
Yeah.
Runyon back through, and this goes.
In a lot of those situations, there's normally one team that is coming out flat. The other team is deciding to fly with all cylinders, everything clicking so far. That seems to be Tennessee Wesleyan as they put together a quick 6-0 run out of the break.
Yeah, that's how they set the buffer for the final stages of the game. Doing well in the start of the second half really gives you that freedom, that safety, if anything.
Pinball's off. Reinhardt remains cold. A 6-0 run, a scoreless drought to open the second half for the Eagles. They've got to get the lid off. This is an important steal for them. Can they capitalize on the turnover? T. Williams says, I will do this myself, and stops the run.
Yeah, that was a very patient take by T. Williams. He allowed his teammates to be able to fill inside, being able to create a little bit of separation and finishing with the deuce.
Yeah, T. Williams isn't someone who's just going to go down without a fight, that's for sure.
Tennessee Wesleyan gets the call against them. J.J. Ruckert, the junior, who scored that bucket a moment ago, hit with a foul, and we're going to head the other way. Up to the front court, Reinhardt. Shaw gave it, Sights back to him. Shaw got it away on the outside. The drive and firing. Souza knocks it down to bring us back within a possession. It's a three-point game in Kingsport.
Yeah, he's in a nice rhythm. It's clockwork right now. One dribble, two dribble, pull up from the mid-range area. Jackson Souza cooking with gas here in Kingsport.
Getting a reaction out of the bench. Hampton hit the spin, throws it down low, and this one goes too easy. I mean, he just lofts that over the top.
Yeah, and I don't even know if he quite knew that he had a player back there behind Guardado. I think he was trying to hit his big target. Either way, great result for Tennessee Wesleyan. You can't argue with 2 points.
I'm not sure Reinhardt knew he was there either.
Souza leading all scorers with 15, make it 18 as he buries this one from downtown Kingsport.
Jackson Souza again, the pull-up midi. He is just killing in that mid-range area. It was sort of the midpoint of the year, right around that January return from break, where Jackson Souza really tried to get to his spots in the mid-range area. Right now, you can tell that he's put in a ton of work in those shots and getting to those spots and finding room.
17 points in this game. They called him short on the three a moment ago. It's a three-point game. Sights has got 8. 4 for Fisher, Williams, and Shaw. 7 for Hampton, 6 for Runyon. Neverton leading the way for the Bulldogs with a dozen. 6 for both Rukert and Coronado as well. Ball rattles and goes, falling over the backside of the iron.
Now, Coach Casey's not going to be happy about any player having 17 points. But I guess if you're going to keep T. Williams away from having one of those explosive games, you'll probably take it. You'll take Jackson Souza being the one leading the way. In a way, you really feel like we're going to force him to try to beat us this entire game. That's not really what Souza's been able to do throughout this season. We'll see what he can do now with getting the attention from the defense.
That play right there is one of those plays that doesn't go in the stat sheet. That's impressive work by T. Williams, keeping a possession. I mean, those are the kinds of things that change a ball game, and the hustle, the focus, the drive to get that done. Man, he is a generational guy.
Stats don't show everything, do they?
They can't. This is finessed all the way outside to the wing, and it goes for Reinhardt. Nakai Fisher from the front porch of Eastman.
And 3 white jerseys surrounding number 3, T. Williams, wisely kicking it out to Nakai Fisher. And here he is on the defensive end.
Sticky hands for T. Williams, who wants to go the distance and is fouled as he travels down the side of the block.
Well, we said at halftime they're only going to be able to keep T. Williams quiet for a certain period. He's too good to go all game without making it his game.
And I'm a firm believer that great players, they don't get lucky. They go out there and they create their own luck. T. Williams not moping around, not being sad that the offense has been slow to arrive. He's creating plays for others, finding open shooters, and then still really giving great effort on the defensive end.
Williams 78% at the line this year as he gets the first to go. As a team, Reinhardt 8 of 12 at the stripe today. Tennessee Wesleyan 6 of 7. On the floor, Reinhardt 17 of 36, 47%. Tennessee Wesleyan 18 of 37, 48. Looking at the rebounds, I think those will become crucial. Reinhardt trails by 3, 22-19. Tennessee Wesleyan just a few more off the glass.
And to me, the difference so far, Reinhardt, again, not a team known for their long-range prowess. They don't really take a ton of threes. They've hit 4 of them. They're 4 of 8 from downtown. Tennessee Wesleyan, they were 5 of 15 before that long-range bomb.
Getting the 3 to go, Tennessee Wesleyan out ahead by a bucket, 50-48 in Kingsport. 5 minutes gone in this second half.
Well, the majority of those threes that you were talking about, Charles Neverton's got a real shoot-on-sight policy. There's 8 attempts from distance, but you take it if you get 4 of them.
Down low this goes, and able to keep it rolling. Tied up again, 50 all between the Eagles and Bulldogs.
Yeah, Nakai Fisher showcasing probably one of the more underrated aspects of his game, his ability to be able to make plays on the drive.
3, wanted all of that. Guardado absolute crime down inside as he hauls that in, but the Eagles come up with it.
Yeah, when you're a big man, it makes coaches just pull their hair out when they see them bring the ball back down to their waist.
Is that a ball joke? Deadlocked at 50 apiece. 14 minutes still left to play between Tennessee Wesleyan and Reinhardt University. And let's take a look now at the schedule. We looked at it in that first half, but just a reminder of what to expect the rest of today and teams that can advance. So Bryan College did advance after overcoming Truett McConnell and the Bears.
Yes, Bryan College being able to take over that game down the stretch, and they were really ahead for most of that second half. Truett McConnell trying to get themselves back into it, getting to the free throw line, being aggressive, but they just could never get into a consistent offensive rhythm to be able to knock off the Lions.
Right now we're tied at 50 apiece between TWU and Reinhardt. Next up, Montreat and Columbia, followed by Union Commonwealth and Spartanburg Methodist.
Yeah, Union snuck in with 0.7 seconds left on the clock. That's when they booked their ticket to Kingsport, Tennessee. At times it looked like Brunel were on their way here, but not to be. Union will be looking to cause an upset, probably the least favourites out of anyone. Very young team, and of course Spartanburg won't want to be the ones the upset happens to.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that game too. Spartanburg Methodist, they have one of the better 1-2 punches in the conference with Destiny Middleton and Hallie Taylor. So we'll see how that matchup goes going up against the Bulldogs of Union Commonwealth.
Back on the floor. On the way, Shaw through somehow, and Reinhardt can't haul it in as it skeeters off. TWU taking over with possession.
Yeah, T. Williams was trying to get it underneath the goal, but just could not haul it in.
Well, there's some water on the floor. And so they're going to try to dry that up to a single round of applause. Is it still a round of applause if only one person?
More like a speck of applause.
Oh, I like that. There's an octagon of applause. It's probably too many sides.
Closer to a rhombus.
Ooh, it's a good one. It's deep in the bag of shapes. Taken away by Reinhardt. Williams to the back door, and Souza is shoved to the hardwood.
I know I'm asking a lot, but how often do we see those breakaways turn into someone throwing the ball off the glass, maybe giving a player a chance? You're not really thinking of taking those type of chances in a tie ball game, though.
Let's ask it a little bit.
I said it was asking a lot.
This goes.
Maybe that's why my basketball career didn't really go past middle school. That probably would have been something I was thinking.
Souza's got 18.
I was good in my day.
And then Jackson hits the second for 19.
I was pretty good in my day, I'll say.
Long floater down the floor, back across. Rashawn Hampton leading by a possession. Tennessee Wesleyan's Bulldogs. Floater, this rattles out on him. Taken down by Derek Brown, Reinhardt University. Long feed to Souza. Pitched outside, Nakai Fisher bumped hard to the corner. Wide open Souza, too strong. Pulled down somehow. Williams back across, and Nakai Fisher deadlocks us yet again.
And just look at the intensity from the Reinhardt Eagles, the entire bench up on their feet. The 10 seed trying to pull off the upset here on day one.
Wild to see the 10 seed doing so well. This might be the best 10 seed performance we've seen in an AAC tournament in the last decade.
And this is a Reinhardt team that just has a ton of talent. Things have just not really been consistent for them, but they've had their moments this year.
On the way, rattles and goes.
There aren't a lot of teams that can say that they have someone who's challenging for the best player in the conference. Eagles confident every time T. Williams steps on the floor.
Cordado keeps it alive. Really nice play under the basket. Runyon defended by Shaw. Tie to the front court. Bulldogs went down the baseline. Williams hits the floor as we get the whistle.
That offensive process was so effective for Tennessee Wesleyan early on in that first half. They were playing with great movement, great ball movement and player movement, finding open looks. It's really been more of a struggle for them to find good looks as this game has continued, and now their offense has grinded into a near standstill.
Yeah, and we'll say it a lot over the course of this week, but momentum is everything in basketball. It started off in the first half of the game where points, everyone was conceding, the defenses weren't looking that strong, but now the defense for Reinhardt seems to have found a bit more of a rhythm.
On the way, this one rattles out on him. Reinhardt keeps it alive, and this on the baseline draws another whistle.
Yeah, Tennessee Wesleyan, they're really trying their luck from beyond the arc. They're now 6 of 20 from long range. They've attempted 11 more threes than Reinhardt and only outshooting them by 2 made buckets from downtown. Right now, that is a huge difference in the scoreboard. Generally low-volume three-point shooting teams can find themselves down big in games just because the other squad is just putting them up and giving themselves chances. But Tennessee Wesleyan, they need to try to find some more accuracy on those shots. They really need Rashawn Hampton to get going.
Yeah, I think if you just said at the start of the day that the top point scorers in this game are neither Hampton or Williams, you'd have been very surprised.
I tell you, I wouldn't have taken that bet. I definitely would have lost some money on that one.
Pinball's off on him. Leading by 6 after an 8-0 run. Second half opened with a 6-0 Tennessee Wesleyan run. Reinhardt fought their way back into an evened matchup, and then fielded themselves to now a 9-0 run.
And they're doing it with the work of the quote-unquote others. It's not the stars who are doing it for them. It's those guys who don't really always see their name at the front of the headlines making plays, guys like Jackson Souza and Blake Seitz.
Cordado does end the run. A call immediately on TWU's Bulldogs, as we've got a lot of contact at the center of the floor.
That's always the danger when you talk about these conference tournament situations, win or go home situations, especially teams who've played each other on multiple occasions. You say, hey, what's going to be different? It's going to have to be another guy that steps up and makes something happen for us. Right now, Reinhardt, they're getting some of those unique contributions. Tennessee Wesleyan, not so much.
Working it around, he goes down. Tennessee Wesleyan able to take it away. Long feed down the floor for Runyon, who kisses it home off the glass.
The body control, being able to hang in the air, take the harm, and finish the hoop.
Tennessee Wesleyan really needed that. The Quadrado point to stop the rot, and now this brings it close again.
Reinhardt Jones is hurt after that play. Came off of the floor immediately. Being checked on by Eagles medical staff. Hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, that's not ideal for Reinhardt. The freshman guard, he's a great playmaker for them, and he was already able to hit 1 3-pointer here today as well.
Derek Brown fishing for help from Shaw. They've got a man on the line, but it's wide. Just smacked off the heel of the iron. Oh, baby, all alone. Take the express home. It's the long train, number 3 for 2.
And Tennessee Wesleyan has slowly inched their way back into this ball game with a quick 6-0 run of their own.
Six-point run to start this second half. Reinhardt answers with a 9-0 run. Now a 6-0 run for the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs to get us back within a point, but not for long as Derek Brown knocks it down.
Yeah, and Derek Brown is so comfortable in those mid-post areas, being able to use his length to rise and fire over defenders.
Taken down by the Reinhardt Eagles on the turnover.
That's Derek Brown on the defensive end, the all-defensive team snub, making his presence felt on that end of the floor. I don't think I'll get over that one.
You're waging war.
Like they're not downstairs.
Whipped back outside, Reinhardt Eagles. Sights almost pickpocketed once, twice, somehow through, couldn't get it.
Blake Sights, I applaud his aggressiveness at this point in the game, but Tennessee Wesleyan, they won't be too sad to see him take those shots instead of a guy like number 10 or a guy like number 3.
On the way and rejected by Derek Brown. This goes the Reinhardt Eagles.
Again, Derek Brown making it happen on the defensive end, underrated as a rim protector.
The real shame, the real crime here is that they can't see on the broadcast the way you looked at me after he made that play. If they could see your face, I look over immediately and Lorenzo's just staring me in the eyes as soon as Derek Brown made that play.
But the reason why I stand on the table so much about advocating for him to make an all-defensive team is I remember earlier in the season, Coach Richard Morgan saying that he was emphasizing improvement on the defensive end. And there was a time where Derek Brown in the early part of the year maybe didn't make the type of crisp rotations that Coach Morgan would have wanted to see from one of his big men. He actually benched Derek Brown in that Canyons Classic in November. Derek Brown didn't go and curl into a ball. All he did was respond with some of his finest defensive play and really turned himself into a dominant force on that end of the floor.
A lot of great basketball left to play in the AAC men's basketball tournament. Women's action starting next on SCSN as we'll have 2 games as part of our play-in day, and obviously very excited to bring you that. It'll be free, live, wherever you're watching now. You can watch that as well, and all games and events airing on our networks are broadcast live. Our copyright material and will be archived and available for replay inside of the Apper platform where you viewed it. Quickly working down the floor, Derek Brown through the front court. From the center court stripe, fed forward and blown dead immediately. Aaron Lane is the one that suffered the foul. Marion Barber replaces him on the floor. Inside of 9 minutes to go, the Eagles out ahead by a possession, 59-56. Brown knocks it down. It's a 5-point ball game.
Yeah, and we're starting to see number 10 heat up for the Reinhardt offense right now. Derek Brown getting to his spots and making those mid-range jumpers seem easy.
Pitched all the way through, it rolls off, and Reinhardt a chance to score what would be a really, really difficult bucket to start and fight back against. Tennessee Wesleyan has to keep the Eagles under control.
Yeah, it's not quite a desperation moment just yet. It's 8.5 minutes left. But you don't want to put yourself behind the 8 ball and really allow this Reinhardt team to build confidence because, again, we've really yet to see the momentum shift for T. Williams. You have to feel like he's due to make something happen when he checks back in.
I don't think T. Williams will be too bothered if his teammates keep playing like this, though. Like, they've got everyone chipping in. And now
This
that's
one
Fisher as well.
goes. Nakai Fisher. Oh, baby, he hits that from the Virginia state line. He's got 14.
And this is more of the team that Coach Morgan thought he was going to get over the course of this year. Injuries and inconsistency really did them in at certain points of the season. But right now, they're rounding into form here in the conference tournament.
Bulldogs trail by 8, 7:40 to go in the second half. Hampton's got 9 points, 8 for Runyon, 15 for Neverton, 9 for Quardado. Derek Brown has 7. Oh!
He's come to play since you supported him.
Absolutely, he's coming to life here, and this Reinhardt offense starting to find their rhythm again. Not a great long-range shooting team, but they're finding unique ways to put the ball in the basket. That's probably what Coach Morgan is the happiest about, is his team is not allowing the zone looks to really dictate the way that they attack. They're playing and taking great shots and really waiting and creating until they can find the look that they want. That's a mismatch, too. Derek Brown has some size over Runyon.
Brown tries it, and he's fouled.
Anytime Derek Brown gets the ball in those situations where he's being defended by a smaller guard, you know that they're going to try to give him the ball and allow him to attack this from the mid-range area.
Now, they marked that last long-range shot as 2. So he's got 6. This goes right away.
And not only does this allow you to hold a lead at this present moment, but the underrated part is it allows you to sort of let T. Williams take an extended break, and you're stealing some minutes with him on the bench, up by 11, and now he gets to sort of ease his way back into the game.
That's T. Williams on screen, on camera for you, as he'll check back into the game for the Reinhardt Eagles, and probably going to make some noise. Charles Neverton has been in for quite a while. Gotta wonder what the strategy is with Neverton. Do you let him just play the entire game from here on out? Do you have to bring him out for a break?
He's such an important player to what they do that you feel like he has to almost always be on the floor. Sure, if you can, you want to try to see if you can steal a minute or two. But he's probably your best floor spacer, one of the best floor spacers in the conference. You have to continue to let him run until really he just gasses out. But right now, he's just been very unproductive on the offensive end.
Yeah, when you're needing points, it feels hard to say take off one of your best players in a game that matters so much like this one does.
Good movement, good feed to the corner. Hampton tries it, it's just outside. A putback rattles off, and now fouled.
I really feel like now Rashawn Hampton is forcing the issue and almost shooting his team out the game. He's 3 of 13 from the field. That's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is he's been so good all season long that if anyone has a right to take those type of shots, it is Rashawn Hampton. Bulldogs just hoping that those shots start to fall as the game reaches its conclusion.
Yeah, I'd have a hard time asking Hampton or Neverton to slow down if I were on the coaching staff. If I'm a fan, I mean, they've been so good all year long. That's your guy. That's your bread and butter. So I say let him pull the trigger.
Yeah, they've got the credit in the bank for all season. I think just let them have it. The penny's got to drop at some point.
Oh, I like that. That's a good one. This goes at the line. We're within 11. Tennessee Wesleyan putting together some nice scoring. But I've already been stressing you really don't want to let Reinhardt maintain a lead for too long in this late stage in the game, especially a double-digit lead like this.
Now on that play, we sort of saw the downside of Reinhardt not really being a high-volume three-point shooting team, not being a team that has a ton of guys spacing the floor out there. And Derek Brown got the ball in the mid-post area. He drew 2 defenders. Jackson Souza came over to flash to the free throw line. to try to provide a safety valve. The entire defense really helping in the gap. There really was nowhere to go.
And to the other end, Tennessee Wesleyan from right in front of Coach Randy Casey, can't knock it down. And the violation is Hampton pulls it in. We've got a foul.
When you're a player like Neverton that marries volume and efficiency, those are the type of shots that I'm sure that Coach Casey is fine with him taking. But at this point, when our offense has sort of bogged down to become this sort of ISO-style game, you really want to work to see if you can get better shots.
But that's what they were doing so well at the start of the game. Every opening felt like it was a clear opening, and this time, just not been able to get them.
Kickball is the call. Quickly off the glass and able to put it back as we do get the whistle.
Reinhardt foul number 22, Blake Seitz is fourth.
Seitz is called for that.
At the line for Wesleyan, James Rucker. 2 shots.
JJ, this one rattles and goes. He's got 7 points, and we're within 10, importantly.
Offsetting technical fouls, 1.
Yeah, we just got a pair of texts. This is the microphone from the scorer's table.
Hey, 22 has 5.
Coach says you need to watch the game, quote unquote.
That's 5 for Blake Seitz, and Blake Seitz has been disqualified from this one. That's a huge loss for Reinhardt. He's been active defensively and giving them a boost on offense as well.
I need a sub.
Well, we spoke about how on edge this game is getting. Ty Runyon fouled out slightly earlier. T. Williams on 4 as well.
Layer game 1 and on goal. I need a sub.
Calling a delay of game on Reinhardt. You heard all that. It's pretty nifty, isn't it? Another stoppage down on the floor. Tennessee Wesleyan can't believe it.
The Wesleyan foul, number 3, Rashawn Hampton, his third. That's the team's 10.
Games like these really can get bogged down by the whistles. Reinhardt, they're in the double bonus. Tennessee Wesleyan, they're in the bonus with 5 minutes and 52 seconds left. That's a long time to have these stoppages of play, and you feel like it will go back and forth. The refs trying to appease both sides. I'm sure that Coach Casey is in the ear of some of the officials, and Coach Morgan's in the ear of the rest of them.
It's one of those ones. You just want the game to get going. You don't want it to come to stop-start. You want to see the players in the rhythm.
Welcoming in our viewing audience, joining us, waiting for the Columbia Koalas, Monterey Cavaliers. You are in the right place. If you're on this feed, it will end at the conclusion of this contest, and we'll pick right back up on the same channel or platform where you're tuned in with more college basketball from the AAC tournament in Kingsport, Tennessee.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at SESNsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere.
dozen points separate the Reinhardt Eagles and Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs in Kingsport, Tennessee. Welcome back inside of the Meadowview Marriott Conference Resort and Convention Center. Gabriel Schrei, Lorenzo Robinson, Frank Osborne, and a 3-ball knocked down by Rashawn Hampton to bring us within single digits for the first time in over 5 minutes of game time, 70-61.
That was a much-needed shot in the arm for this Tennessee Wesleyan offense. Not a whole lot going specifically for that vaunted backcourt of Neverton and Hampton. They needed to see something go through the iron.
This goes knocked down in response. Reinhardt back to a double-digit lead.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Bulldogs, it seems like Derek Brown is now ready to join the party for the Eagles offensively.
Tried to filter that through, were blown dead. Foul against Reinhardt's Nakai Fisher.
Media, hit the horn.
We've got a media timeout on the floor for us, so we're going to take a break. Thank you, everyone.
Some might ask, what's the hurry? But if it's the difference between getting McDonald's breakfast and settling for a Big Mac, well, run like the wind. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It's like that.
Got it, it stays fair.
Everybody feel it, come around with the rhythm, it's a sound. Everybody get down when we bring it to you. It's like that.
Back in Kingsport. Five minutes to go. Back within single digits. And underway, Reinhardt with possession. Derek Brown gives it off. Pitched once, then twice. Eagles. Brown fires. Can't get it. And the putback goes to Reinhardt and Souza. He continues his electric day.
Yeah, how about a putback coming from the smallest man on the floor?
I feel like Derek Brown just realised all he has to do is that step back jump shot, and he's just been copying and pasting it every time he gets the ball.
Yeah, and that's really his game, being able to work in that mid-range area. He stands at 6'7". He has almost a 7-foot wingspan, so when he gets that shot up above his head, it's so hard for anyone to really contest it. You're really just praying that he misses.
Back within 10. 4.5 to play.
4.5 to play with both teams in the double bonus. This game can get dangerously drawn out with a few more plays. But if you're a player, you feel a little bit of contact, why not just hit the ground?
Shaw flips this over the top.
Is that you encouraging diving?
I'm not encouraging it, but I have an idea of what we'll see as this game goes. I know what I would do.
The give. Wants to drive. Shaw, the double team over the top. Brown. Derek fires with one on the shot clock. Goes wide. Souza for the putback. And down inside, immediate whistle. Quickly, easy little bunny knocks down. Closest we've been in a while. 7 points separate us.
Reinhardt, they've had a few possessions that have begun to get a bit in the mud. Things turning into one-on-one basketball. They want to try to get back moving and find some more rhythm.
Fires Shaw, rattled off the corner of the iron. The 5 on the floor for the Bulldogs. As this goes on the other end for Neverton. Rashawn Hampton, Charles Neverton, who's got 17 points. Marshall, Callahan, and Ruckert. Reinhardt has Shaw, Fisher, Brown, Fullwood, and Souza.
I would expect a timeout coming from Coach Morgan of the Eagles if they come up with another empty possession. As we see there, T. Williams, two-time first-team all-conference selection, getting ready to make his re-entrance into the game.
5 on the shot clock. Stolen. Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs free down the floor and gets it to go. How about that work from number 20, J.J. Ruckert, the junior, as T. Williams will check back into the game after the break. Back in Kingsport with college basketball.
Looking like it may have been a technical foul called on Reinhardt, which will allow Tennessee Wesleyan to pull even closer.
Yeah, Jackson Souza suffers the technical foul. It's just his second foul of the game.
Souza normally pretty mild-mannered, so interesting to kind of figure more out about that one.
See, if we were on the floor, I'd have talked to the refs before the game, and they would tell us everything. Tennessee Wesleyan fans not familiar with that joke. It's not really a joke. I make it a point to go up and talk to the refs before I do basketball and let them know who I am and get their names, and I talk about them throughout the broadcast. And so they'll always come give me the scoop when there's a call like that, but since we're not on the floor, we won't know.
Good thing we don't know the names of this ref crew.
Stop, that's wild.
Getting stressed.
The dive for the ball. Calling for possession, split up. 30-second timeout.
Need a break? A break from the grind? The stress? We have just the place. A place where you can let your inner thrill-billy out. Bristol Motor Speedway, April 10th through the 12th for the NASCAR Food City 500 Triple Header Weekend. 3 days, 3 races, 2 night races, 1 epic weekend. Don't just take a break, race to it. Get your tickets, upgrades, and more now at BristolMotorspeedway.com. It's not just a race.
It's Bristol, baby!
back in Kingsport with college hoops. Reinhardt's Derek Brown fires, rattles, rims, and is finally pulled down by Corey Marshall. Tennessee Wesleyan suffers the foul on the other end of the floor in a 2-point game, and a chance to tie this for the first time in over 10 minutes.
Yeah, Reinhardt, they had a large lead, and slowly Tennessee Wesleyan just been chipping away and counter-attacking, and the Eagles not soaring so high now.
And what I really love from these Tennessee Wesleyan guards is they've done such a good job of maintaining their aggression. There was a point in time where things weren't going Rashawn Hampton and Charles Neverton's way, but they have not allowed that to deter them from playing their game. Rashawn Hampton continuing to fire for his group. He's going to go down on his shield, and as he should, because that's how good he's been this season.
We're deadlocked 74 all between the Bulldogs and Eagles.
T. Williams back into the game for the Reinhardt Eagles. He's been so quiet so far in this one. You know that they would love nothing more than to allow number 3 to take him home.
They won't mind him being quiet if he turns up now.
Yeah, they're going to get a foul on Charles Neverton, not allowing the cutter to pass through.
Neverton suffers his 3rd foul. He's got 16 points. Hampton with 18. Both have 3 fouls now. JJ's got 13 points and 4 fouls. This goes. Derek Brown looking good. Brown, a dozen points, becomes 13, looking for 14. He's got 14. Fisher with 14 as well, and Souza with 21. T. Williams with just 8. And you said it, they love to heat him up.
Reinhardt in a 2-3 zone here. Tennessee Wesleyan is struggling from beyond the arc. Eagles want to try to keep them out the paint.
2-point game, 90 seconds to go. We've got an instant classic brewing in Kingsport. Ball stolen away. Nakai Fisher with a steal. And blown dead as Green Jones is trying to escape way back there.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure who's going to get the official credit for the steal, but I know that Amir Green Jones created that play defensively, stopping the ball on the penetration, and I think his hand may have went in there. Either way, great defensive play by him to be able to stop the drive.
This goes. So Reinhardt looking really good at the line, and that's become crucial in this back stretch of the game. They're 19 of 25, 76%. Bulldogs are 15 of 20, 75%. As Reinhardt knocks down 2 more, and they make their lead 4 points, a 2-possession game.
Yeah, and that large number of attempts, not really what we aren't used to seeing from them. They're a team that tries to get to the rim as much as possible.
Oh my goodness! From the muddy banks of the Tennessee River, he buries a colossal 3.
Charles Neverton, never done for Tennessee Wesleyan, still in it. They're just hanging around.
He's got 22 points and leads all scorers after that.
We question whether or not he should be shooting as much, but I think he's answered that question.
78-77 the call. TWU taking it away from the Eagles, and Reinhardt can't believe it with 46.9 seconds on the clock.
I can't believe it either. I don't really know about that one. I'd have to see that one in slow motion.
Randy Casey says, hey, take it across. We're taking the timeout. We'll keep it here as this has become extremely close. Razor-thin margin late in a fun battle between the 8-win Eagles and 11-win Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs, who are looking to punch their ticket to day 2 of the tournament.
Yeah, more on that last play from T. Williams. They called it a travel violation, and I'm not really sure if it was a walk, but nonetheless, if T. Williams is in rhythm, he probably just takes the jumper. He just takes that three-point shot, tries to get something up, see if he can get something down for his team. Instead, Tennessee Wesleyan has done a nice job of really making him work to get shots up. He's not really in rhythm, so he didn't really feel confident on taking it on the catch.
And it's just been one of those games, really. At times, Wesleyan were leading by 10, then Reinhardt led by 12, and now it's a 1-point game going into the final 45 seconds. So this is where your big players turn up. No one will care that T. Williams hasn't had his normal game if he comes and scores the winner.
Eagles looking with that 1-3-1 zone look now.
Really loading the bodies up back down inside. Here's the long ball in response to that. It's off the mark. Kept alive. T. Williams somehow comes out of the scrum with it for Reinhardt. And the call. Tennessee Wesleyan wants to travel. I think they got it.
Like you said, that's one of those things that definitely doesn't happen if he's in his rhythm. We've seen glimpses. He gets out of the pressure of 4 and then has a silly error like that.
And it's such a shame for Reinhardt, too. The zone really did its job on that possession.
The shot clock is off. We get another timeout. 18 seconds on the clock in venue.
Yeah, the zone really did its job for Reinhardt on that last possession. They forced a tough look for Tennessee Wesleyan. Not necessarily the guy they wanted taking the shot, not necessarily the shot that they wanted on that possession. Eagles getting the rebound. T. Williams, another unforced error. That's now 2 traveling violations called on Williams inside the last minute of the game.
That's huge.
I reckon that's rare. I'd be shocked if that's happened at all this season. 2 travel violations from T. Williams in close succession like that.
I've seen a lot of Reinhardt basketball over the course of this season. It's the first time that I've seen it, I'll say that.
High pressure situation late for these two teams. Just over a quarter of a minute to play. The shot clock is off. A fight to keep the season alive for the Bulldogs and the Reinhardt Eagles. Only one makes it into day 2 of the AAC tournament. Tennessee Wesleyan trailing by 1 with the ball. Back across, working it around, drives. Hampton fires and gets it to go. Tennessee Wesleyan leads by a point. Reinhardt's man is fouled hard. He's run down.
Yeah, and that was a great drive, a great attack by Rayshawn Hampton to get downhill and finish. But Tennessee Wesleyan just giving up the goodwill that they built up to be able to get that lead. Now Jackson Souza, who's been the hero all game long for Reinhardt, a chance to lift them up once more.
Jackson Souza has 21 points this season at the line, 70% shooting free throws. Today, he's 4 of 5. Souza gets the first to go. We're tied between the Reinhardt Eagles and Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs in Kingsport.
If I'm Coach Casey, I'm calling a timeout on a miss, but I'm letting him play off a make.
Souza gets it to go. Reinhardt leads 80-79. 10 seconds to go. Here we go. Clock running. 5 seconds. Bulldogs. Hampton inside backdoor. Got it off the glass with 2.1 seconds on the clock. Reinhardt inbounds. 1 second. Reinhardt, Nakai Fisher from half court fires it. Too much sauce. Tennessee Wesleyan wins. The Bulldogs win.
And how about Rayshawn Hampton, the first team all-conference selection, finding a way to make the play for Tennessee Wesleyan, a dime and a finish. the Bulldogs nearly at the death.
Tennessee Wesleyan, a buzzer beater in Kingsport, Tennessee, in unbelievable fashion. I mean, that's as good as it gets. They come through, they make the big plays in the big moments, get it to go, and somehow come up with an incredible victory. I mean, that was just a blast to watch. Congratulations to Randy Casey, the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. We can't wait to see it tomorrow. That was unreal.
Yeah, and right now, the AAC Conference Tournament is so far living up to the billing. 2 complete barn burners, heart stoppers here in Kingsport, Tennessee.
Just incredible stuff. Frank Osborne heading to the floor to get together with the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs. We'll hear from Frank and TWU when we return with more coverage in just a moment on SCSN. Back in Kingsport, Tennessee, with Frank Osborne standing by with Corey Marshall, who had a nice game for the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs.
I'm Frank Osborne, joined by Corey Marshall. Scored the game's winner today. How does that feel?
Oh, man, I'm speechless, man. I just staying solid, man. And we just, man, I'm just speechless, man. Like, every day we just work. And Coach Casey just telling me, man, just stay the course, man, and your time's going to come. So, you know, today's obviously that day, man. I'm just glad I got to get the dub for my guys, man.
And how hard is it to play against a team that you've previously beat twice this season?
It's difficult. You know, they scout us pretty well. You know, we all knew that it's gonna be a tough one coming here. So they did their best, but we were down. We came back, and we're just glad we got the dub.
And you spent the majority of the game just chipping away at them. They had a large lead. How does it feel to finally, at the big moment, came through?
Oh man, it's great. It's a great feeling. I'm just speechless, man. It's a great feeling. Just I know my guys are enjoying this, but job's not done. So.
And on to the next game tomorrow. How are you feeling going into that one? You must be confident after that.
I mean, of course, you know, but we lost to those guys before, so you know, it's back to ground zero. You know, so it's 0-0. You know, and we're just gonna try and get the dub tomorrow.
I'll let you go and celebrate with your team. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Frank Osborne, Corey Marshall on the Southeast Sports Network. Congratulations to Corey and the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs, who take the victory in Kingsport to advance to day 2 on the buzzer beater, 81-80.
Your favorite teams, your favorite live streams, your favorite highlights. Be sure to engage with us. Find us now on YouTube at NSBN Sports or visit us at nsbnsports.com.